This video will be an attempt to explain the process of pasting data validation from one cell to another without using absolute cell references. So for those that have tried it before, anytime you paste a data validation from one cell to another, one row, one column to another, it always refers back to the original cell references. So it's a little bit annoying. You try to go into the data validation window and tinker around with it, and nothing ever works. By accident, almost by accident, I was tinkering around with it around 2:30 in the morning, and I was able to figure out a way. It seems almost counterintuitive, but I was able to figure out a way to paste data from one cell to another, or to many others, and instead of it being absolute, it becomes relative, which is amazing because traditionally, in the past, you had to write a script, and if Google changes their version of their Google spreadsheets, the script might not work, and you have to make a second version, a third version, and what have you. A lot of people use indirect functions, and they'll use timed functions and filter functions and all these different things. Offset functions, another one that's popular, just to kind of get away from the whole fact that Google Spreadsheets is not quite as good as Excel in that matter. But I found this way, and it takes probably about 10-15 seconds to do it, and it's almost criminally easy. It's so simple. But let me get right into it. So this sheet here you're looking at is just a sample that I'm kind of working on for the counseling staff and the teachers at my school. And so what I have here is I have a list of elective courses and the period in which they reside. So period 1, we have advanced band and advanced stage. Period 2, we have beginning band and beginning theater. So essentially if I have a list here of students, if I select a period that they're in, I want to have a data validation drop down over here that shows me all the options that they could take. So for example, if John Smith is here in period 1, I want it to show advanced band and advanced stage production as the possibility. So that way, I don't want mistakenly the wrong course selection to come up. And they select them for beginning band. Well, that would be a conflict in the schedule because beginning band doesn't exist in that period. So I'll press enter here. Now I did something else here. You'll see something popped up over here. I used a couple of nested if functions, but you could use VLOOKUP if you'd like. I just have it set up so that it's just a basic set of if functions where if F3 equals 1, so if F3 equals first period, then look for this data here. Okay, I'll click back over to the formula. So F3 equals 1, then find this data array right here. If it equals 2, so I'll click over here on 2 for this person, and the data array pops up there. So I could press 2 again, it'll continue to pop up, 3, and this is all relative to that data array. Okay, you could obviously, like I said, you could do VLOOKUP, that's kind of your preference, but these are fairly simple formulas that many people know how to do. It's easy to find a tutorial on YouTube. But this next part is the one part that peeves a lot of people because it's not very malleable, and other than in Excel. So now at this time I'm going to try to create a data validation, standard data validation, so that it's going to pull the data here into this cell. So it's going to use those two options and put it into the cell. So I'm going to go to data validation, move this out of the way for a second. I'm going to select list from a range, and I'm going to select this range here, H3 to I3, and then I'm going to reject input just because I always like to eliminate as much human error as possible. Press save, and here's the data validation. So it popped up, advanced band, advanced stage production for period 1. Okay, so The problem is, let's say I want to paste this down. So I copy, paste it down, and you think, okay, well then, in normal, I guess, intuition, if you've never used this before, you'd think, okay, well if I copy it down, it's just going to do the same thing, but on every row. But lo and behold, I click on this first one, it looks fine. Advanced band, advanced stage, that's period 1. Okay, period 2, let's see what the classes are available on period 2. Oh wait, these classes are not part of period 2. Why are they here? So on and so forth. Oh, guitar should be here. Why is guitar not there? So this here comes the workaround. It's really simple. So you can time it if you want, but it's really, really fast. So all I'm going to do is click on this first cell again, data validation, validation. I'm going to click here and put a $sign in front of every column, H and I, and then press save. Then I'm going to go here, copy, paste, and now magically it did what I wanted it to do. It gave me relative cell references. And now, weird thing is, if I go back up to data validation, the $signs disappear. I don't know why. If I try to copy this again and paste it down again, it still does it. It doesn't make sense, at least not to me. So if I come to validation, it's gone. I suppose if I were to try to do this again, standard way, press save, copy and paste it down, go back. So basically, it's the specific protocol that's the issue. So there are different ways you can do it, but if you follow the specific protocol that I just did, that's how you get. That's the only way I was able to find out. I was able to find to get it conditional, or sorry, relative data validation. So it's kind of strange, weird anomaly. I don't know why it works, but it works for some weird reason. So once again, simple validation. I tried this in front of the rows. It didn't seem to work, but it works in front of the columns, these $signs. So, like I said, I don't know why. You could try it. It might be because I'm using columns for the data. I'm using, I guess, what would be like VLOOKUPs. But perhaps if you were to do HLOOKUPs, you might be able to do it for the numbers as well. I really don't know, but I know it works this way, so I'm probably going to just stick with it. So this seems like the safe bet. So click save, copy, paste down, and now it works for some weird reason. So this is going to save a lot of time for a lot of people and a lot of headaches. I tried to shut down the page and reload it and all that, and the formula seemed to still work. It seemed like it's a non-issue. It just works. So enjoy. Hopefully this saves you a lot of time, and yeah, spread the word.